Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Arthur. I'm from Health and Balance in Laguna Beach, California, and we're here today to just go over some healthy food choices for you and your family. Some of the things on this table you can find at your local markets, you can find at your health food stores, and you can also find at farmers markets. Let's start with some of the foods here that are our raw nuts and our avocados, which are all examples of essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids are called essential because that's what they are. They are essential and you need to eat them and have them in your foods. As you can see with the nuts are raw. It's much better to get your fatty acids from raw nuts. And avocados, which are amazingly full of essential fatty acids. Another way you can do your nuts too is you can also do them in nut butters. There's sunflower seed butter here and almond butter. Also in some stores you can find pecan butter, macadamia nut butter, which are amazing if you've never had those. Some of the other examples of good healthy fats that we have on the table here is coconut oil. Coconut oil is an amazing source of essential fatty acids. It's also really good to cook with, as is butter. And the best butter to get for the benefit of the fat and for the benefit of health is a grass-fed raw butter, and that would be the same with all of your dairy products, grass-fed and raw. If you can find that with cheese and with cream and anything else, kefir, yogurt, they're all better that way. Another example of a good source of fat, since we are on fat, would be eggs. And eggs are a high source of choline. Choline is really good for your brain. It covers your myelin in all your nerves. One of the things I've learned recently about eggs is that eggs that come from cage-free, many people think that those are the best. Actually now, cage-free can mean that the door is open an inch. And it still means that all those chickens are in there crammed together. So the best eggs are pasture-fed or pasture-raised. And then you know that they're eating grass and they're not eating grains. Okay, that was fats. It's interesting now, there's a list of the 10 healthiest foods to eat, and 7 out of those 10 healthy foods are fat foods, meaning nuts, coconut oil, pasture-raised eggs, also grass-fed beef and grass-fed dairy. Those are all on the list of the best foods that you can eat. So people that have been in the past avoiding fats might want to reconsider that healthy fats are some of the best food for you. Another really healthy fat would be an ocean-raised salmon or ocean-raised fish. Also, farm-raised trout, if they're farm-raised in a healthy manner, is very, very good. Shrimp is on this plate along with the salmon to represent something that maybe you would want to avoid. And the reason for that is shrimp are bottom feeders. That means that they are eating everything at the bottom of the ocean, and that's where toxins settle. So they are not a healthy food. Moving on, let's go to some herbs that are represented over here. We've got ginger, we have turmeric, we have cinnamon and garlic. Starting with garlic, garlic is a food that's known to help with the immune system. It's also known that if you have a petri dish growing with bacteria, you put garlic in there and the bacteria will die. So it is antimicrobial. Ginger's good for digestion. Ginger's good for circulation. Cinnamon helps with regulating your blood sugar. So that can be healthy. You can add that to rice, you can add that to breads, you can add that to stews. Turmeric is known to be anti-inflammatory, and it also helps modulate your immune system. And modulating your immune system can be very, very important these days, as I don't know if you're familiar with the fact that autoimmune diseases are on the rise in this country. And anything that can help you modulate your immune system is going to help you dampen the immune system so that your immune system doesn't start attacking self. So turmeric is very important for that. We have apples over here and some fruits. We have pomegranates, raspberries, apples. Raspberries have a lot of resveratrol in them, as do pomegranates, as do grapes as well. Resveratrol, since we were just talking about modulating the immune system, is another substance that helps modulate the immune system so that, again, your immune system doesn't lose self-tolerance, and then go into an autoimmunity. So we have apples and berries here. These are two foods that are very important to choose organic. They have thin outer layerings, which make it so that the fruits absorb the pesticides. So try and choose organic whenever you can. Whereas bananas or avocados, it's not so necessary to choose organic because they have a thicker outside core, and so they don't absorb pesticides quite as easily. Lemons are obviously, most everybody knows that they have a lot of vitamin C. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, which is used in all systems of your body. We oxidize all day long. When you make energy, you are oxidizing. So if you can put more antioxidants into your body, the better you will make energy and the more you will prevent cancer. Kale, right here, kale is one of the 10 most healthiest foods on the planet. It has lots of minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium. It has lots of vitamins in it. We got carrots for beta carotene, which are again anti-carcinogenic. Tomatoes have a lot of anti-carcinogenic properties in them as well. So add those. One of the things you can do with kale, I know it's pretty hard to get your kids to eat kale. Pretty hard to get your kids to eat green leafy vegetables. One of the things that I do with those things is I put them in stews, I put them in soups. You can even put them in bread. If you make any bread at home, you can just put a little bit in your bread. You can always put them in a blender and put them in any sauces that you make. And I put green leafy vegetables in lasagna. So things like that, you can always mask them and kids won't even know that they're in there. Cruciferous vegetables. One of the things known about cruciferous vegetables is that they are anti-carcinogenic as well. And the way that they work there is they help to break down steroid hormones. Steroid hormones, of course, we need them. We have to have them to function as a human being. But if they build up in our system and aren't detoxified, then they can build up in our system, for instance, estrogen. Too much estrogen makes cancers grow. Going on to a couple more herbs, we have basil. Basil is really high in vitamin K. Vitamin K helps you clot. Vitamin K helps you make strong, sturdy bones. And osteopenia and osteoporosis are so prevalent right now. So vitamin K is very important for that, as is vitamin D. And here we got some other herbs. Herbs just are a great source of minerals and vitamins. And minerals are used in every single enzymatic reaction we have in our body all day long. So anytime you can choose green, healthy herbs and add them again to your stews and to your casseroles, you're going to just boost the antioxidants and boost the minerals. Going over here, we have some range and grass-fed organic beef and chicken. Those are really good for phosphatidylcholine, which is found covering all your nerve cells in your whole body from tip to toe. And that isn't so important for brain health right now. And we know so many people that are having dementia and Alzheimer's. And one of the reasons for that is very unhealthy fats in the diet, choosing corn and soy and safflower oil instead of choosing, again, things like grass-fed butter, coconut oil, healthy olive oil, healthy nuts. Those are the things that protect the brain. We also have right here some sheep feta. One of the things that's happening that I find in my practice is there's a lot of kids, a lot of adults that are unable to eat dairy. And that is probably because dairy is not processed in a healthy way these days. It's pasteurized, it's homogenized. It comes from cows that live in big farm-raised enclosed areas, and they're not able to eat grass, they're not able to walk out in the sunshine and get their vitamin D. So an alternative is goat's cheese, goat feta, and it's much more easy to digest. People seem to be much more tolerant of it. Coming over on this end, we have some gluten-free options. What I've been finding as well in my practice these days is that many people are not able to tolerate gluten. And the question is why, and I really don't think anybody has the answer for why there is so much gluten intolerance now. I think maybe the best and simplest answer is that gluten or wheat has been hybridized. When it's hybridized, what happens is that the protein that the wheat is expressing now is much different than ancient wheat, and our bodies seem to not be able to recognize what that new wheat protein actually is. Is it a food? Is it a foreign invader? What is it? So our body's not reacting to gluten as a food. or wheat as a food, and so what happens is the body starts to attack it, which means your immune system is turned way on, and you're trying to nourish your body, and instead of nourishing your body, you're starting to spike your immune system to an aggressive attack on your own gut and the food that you're eating. So we're finding that it's much better to choose gluten-free options. Quinoa is an amazing gluten-free option. It's really high in protein. It's easy to digest. You can use it as you would couscous. You can use it like you would use rice. Other gluten-free choices for crackers are these two as examples. And some people might not know what gluten is. Gluten is just a protein that is found in different grains. It's found in rye, it's found in barley, it's found in wheat. Some people are just allergic to the wheat. Some people are truly allergic to gluten. Here is an example of a gluten-free dessert package that you can make up, just fudge brownie. And these are really good. Just try them, and there's a bunch of different brands. Betty Crocker makes gluten-free cake mixes. Just give them all a try and see which one your family likes the best. There's gluten-free mac and cheese mixes. Some are dairy-free, some are just gluten-free. You can find those at Trader Joe's. You can find those at Whole Foods. If you're making gravies and you want to add to thicken things up, there's a couple different examples of gluten-free flours. We've got organic brown rice and quinoa right here, and both of those do well for thickening up gravies and soups and different things that you need to thicken up. Something else that's important to note is to try and keep your family away from packaging things in plastics. And for instance, right here, we've got two bottles. One's plastic and one's glass. Glass does not react with a substance inside like plastic does. So whenever you can choose glass over plastic, it's much better. And that is something to think about with your food choices too that you buy in the store. Many foods are wrapped in plastic wrap. They're sitting on plastic containers. It's much better if you can go to the market and you can pick out your zucchinis and put them in a bag that you want to take them home with instead of buying them on a plastic tray. Farmers markets is the same thing. You go to the farmers market, your carrots are in a bunch. Your carrots are not in a plastic bag. So that's something to consider, and something that when you can make the choices of those foods not in plastic, it is much better. One of the things I wanted to just end with today is the new way that we're making our coffee at home. It has a lot of good healthy fats in it. What we do is we just take a good coffee, we grind it in the morning, and we brew it, and then we put the coffee into our blender, and then we add some no salt butter that we've talked about, this kind of good butter, and then we'll add some coconut oil and put it in the blender, and we'll buzz it in the blender for a while, and it gets foamy like a latte. It's got tons of essential fatty acids, no sugar in it, so that it'll not raise your blood sugar and spike it and make your insulin levels go up. And that is a good way to start the day, of course, with your good healthy breakfast. One of the things to end with today also I wanted to talk about, if you do feel that there are food sensitivities in your family, we have at our fingertips now state-of-the-art blood testing and also saliva testing. And what we do with that is we take all that information, we put it together, and for you, we can give you a very detailed and personalized way for you to achieve your health goals. I'm Dr. Lisa Arthur, and we'll see you next time.